everybody. Welcome back into another episode of the Day-to-Day Life as a Reseller. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We are getting started here on a Monday as the usual. Let me know, guys, if there's any issues with the audio. I think I got my music off and I think we're live on the camera. Hopefully we don't have any lagging issues today as well. I think we fixed that, but we'll see how it goes. But that's how it is, you know. It's a Monday. And as everybody else, Mondays tend to go a little bit awry. So let me know, though, if there's any issues in the comment box or in the chat box. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to another episode, guys. We got a bunch of interesting topics to talk about. We've got a lot of sales to go out, all kinds of good stuff. So we're going to jump right into it and get started here with a couple of orders. That way we can get into a rhythm. As you guys know, it takes me a second. And then we'll talk about it. Of the upcoming topics we're going to be talking about today, we've got the main one, obviously, as you guys can see in the title, is talking about charging more for shipping to further distances. And we're going to talk about how to do that, as well as some other information in regards to shipping templates and stuff like that that you may not have known about. So we're going to do that. We're actually going to be doing some screen sharing later on and actually show you guys. So hopefully that'll help out. But we'll wait a little bit later in the video to do that. We've got some other topics. Depop is in the news again, and we're going to talk about that, as well as a few other things. Pretty good sales week, honestly, guys. We did almost $3,000 this weekend between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So super thankful for that. And then we actually did a couple of in-person sales for some bigger items, and we'll talk about that later as well. Not a whole lot else besides just some updates on some of the things I've been working on, but I want to hear from you guys. So if you guys have any information or anything that you guys have been up to or figured out or have questions on, let me know in the comment box below or in the chat to the side. Greatly appreciate those interactions, and we'll talk about whatever we got going on reselling. So what's up, Greenies? Thank you so much for joining. Good morning. Finally make a live stream. Awesome. Thank you. Glad to see you here. I know it's sometimes I don't know what the time frame is. Obviously this is right in the middle of the day back east. This is kind of in the morning out in the west, so hopefully people are able to join. If they're not, though, hopefully we'll be able to do some other time. So if there are other times that you recommend, and if you're rewatching this, we've got a lot of people rewatching, a lot of people, new subscribers coming in. So thank you so much for that. If you guys have a certain time that works better, obviously I'm not going to be able to accommodate everybody, but I would love to do some jump on live streams to help get some of the audience in that isn't able to watch these live. So if you wouldn't mind, leave me a comment in the comment box below. If this time doesn't work for you for the live, and there's certain other times maybe that you're more available, and maybe we get a few people that are available at that time, maybe we'll do a surprise stream or a one-off stream or whatever during that. But I still want to thank you guys so much for rewatching these. It is greatly appreciated. All right, we're going to clear off a little bit of this table. As you can see, we got a little bit of a mess here, but we're going to get that, and we're going to just start with the first couple of orders. And actually this one just came in like midnight last night. It still showed on today's orders, so glad for that. What's up, Bobby's Kicks? Thank you so much for joining. Good afternoon to you as well. We've got the first order going out, and here I am showing the label instead of the item. We've got this, yeah, I can't ever remember the name of this school. University of Maryland, the Terrapins. This is really cool. It's got the turtle on the front. I think it's a really cool hat. We picked these up for like $3, and we are selling it for, we sold it for $29.99. This one actually sold pretty quick. Normally I end up holding on to a lot of the college ones for a little bit, but that one sold pretty fast. I do like selling college, minor league, stuff like that. I feel like there's not near as many people that have it, so it tends to sell quicker. Well, maybe not quicker, but it tends to sell for a little bit more. Obviously, you're more specific to a certain school and their alumni and all that is probably going to be who's buying that, but still love selling it. And they have really cool logos, let's be honest. I'm all about the logos. Next up, we have another hat. We're just going to knock a couple of these boxes to get them out of the way here. This next hat is a Dallas Cowboys small medium, so it is a small size. I bought this a long time ago. I've had this probably for close to 2 years. I think we paid like $8 for it. It is cool. It's got the throwback logo, and it's this, the tag's not there. I can't remember what they call this material. It's kind of weird. It's like a jersey kind of material, but it's still pretty cool. Picked that up, like I said, I think we paid $8 or $9 for that one, and we sold it for $30 as well. So get that one going out. Sales have been all over the place this week, guys. Let me know what you have been up to as far as that. If you feel like they're being consistent, if they're kind of up and down. I've had days where this week where I've done, close to $500-600, and then I've had days where I've barely done $2. So I don't know what's going on with that. Honestly, my eBay is not up a ton. It's actually break even to last week, and our increase all came from Amazon. So we'll talk about some of the stuff we sold over there, and kind of give you an idea of why I think that's jumping. But we did our increase to give us that boost up to 3,000 is actually from Amazon. Most of eBay was right around the same, only about 1,700 for the weekend, which is still a good weekend, guys. I'm not complaining about that. But it's actually the same as last week, and we seem to be down a little bit. So not too bad there. Next up, I think we already labeled this box. Yeah, we labeled this one. These are some Nike. I forget what these are called. I don't know where the order is either right off the top of my head. There they are. These are the Downshift 11s running shoes. I don't remember where I bought these. I think it might have been a Kohl's event, but I bought them, paid like $32 for them, which was a little high. And especially without the box. I don't normally buy them if they don't have the box. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But we're shipping these in these new boxes we picked up. This is a 14 by 6 by 6 that we're going to be shipping loose shoes in. Like I said, we paid 32 for that, and we did sell it for 68. So not the biggest profit there, but we'll take it. Green says, I've been trying to print my labels every day, and I think I'm seeing a small lift in my sales. Otherwise, sales feel consistent to last month. So that's a good point. I've actually been doing that. Obviously, if you follow Millennial Profit, most of you guys are from Bread and Butter. But if you're not and you haven't, he posted a video about this. He's been testing that out. He's actually been printing shipping labels at least twice a day. And it's something that I've started doing. I've been doing it for a little while since I've been doing these type of labels. Obviously, if you guys have been watching the stream, you know I was getting labels a different way before. So now that I've switched back over to this, I've been printing 3 to 4 times a day. Just whenever I get a second, I'll go through and print the labels. That doesn't mean I'm packing them, honestly, guys. I'm just printing out the label, and then what I'll do is I'll go back through and add them to the correct order whenever I do all my shipping. So it really doesn't take that much more time, but it shows shipped in eBay, and he's seen a huge increase. Mine, I haven't seen a giant increase, but I do feel like my sales throughout the day are more consistent. So I feel like it might be helping the algorithm a little bit. Again, my sales are kind of all over the place right now, and I don't even know what consistent is anymore, or what my consistent would be. For the past 2 months or so, it's just been up, down, up, down. It's evening out, which is good. So I guess maybe that is consistency in other terms. But it's all over the place. So I'm not being able to see like a percentage. Honestly, my percentage is about the same according to eBay. But it does seem to make the sales come in throughout the day, and so maybe that is boosting. It's summertime, guys. It's hard to tell with summertime how much you're actually getting. So we'll take whatever we can do. But I think you're right. I think it does help. I think it's just that activity, showing that you're active on their platform, and that's what they're looking for. So definitely recommend it if you can. Obviously, not everybody can do that, but definitely recommend it. Even if you just print the label and then, actually go and pack and ship it at one time, which is what we're kind of doing this weekend. So all these here, as you guys can see, I've got the labels in the boxes. These are all from Saturday and Sunday. I actually ship Friday's orders. I've been trying to get those out on Friday or Saturday morning. So these are only Saturday and Sunday's orders. But my numbers include Friday's orders, if that makes sense when I'm telling you, sales for the week or sales for the weekend. But like I said, what I've been doing is I've been printing out these labels and just sticking them in the boxes, and then obviously we go through and pack them up on stream. Forgetting to show you guys what we got. Next up on the sales list are these 940s. These are these camo. I want to say they were the 2022 training camp color scheme. They had the 940s. They had all the hats that came in them for the football, and they sell super, super well. It's a very popular color scheme. These ones here, we only got $33 a piece for them, but they actually bought 2 of them. So we've got 2 of them in the box. These Rams ones here, and again, these are the 940s. Normally the snapback 950 flat bills and stuff like that do a little bit better, but still not bad for these, especially because I think we only paid $8 for these. And I can't remember if I got these from a Marshall's or if I got them from a supplier. I'm not sure, but I know we didn't pay any more than $8 for them. So that brings the total for the 2. Let's see, where's my label at? Yeah, $18 into 67. So not a bad profit there. Like I said, hats are kind of my game, guys. You can tell I invest a lot into hats. I keep investing a lot into hats. Just ordered a whole another bulk deal this past week. I should have it this weekend. But it is a slow game. And honestly, guys, I think that may be why my sales are so random, so to speak. Hats are not they're a consistent seller, but you have to have a lot more. Their sell-through rate is not near as high. but the price per investment. Obviously, you guys see I never spend more than like $8-9 for a hat most of the time, and I'm always selling for $35 or more. So it's a pretty good rate of return, but you do have to sit them a long time. And guys, I have over 6,000 hats right now in my inventory, and I'm selling, you know, over the weekend. You can see I am selling quite a few, but I wouldn't say I'm selling more than 25 to 30. So that's only like a what, 5, not even a 0.5% sell-through rate, something like that. So just keep that in mind with hats, guys. It's not for everybody, but I enjoy it, and like I said, it's a good investment for me, especially while I have these connections. All right, let's see. I forgot my water over here, guys. Give me 1 second. Allergies are still killing me. Let's see if I can do this without getting my head in the shot. All right. Let's see. What do we got going on? So, news and reselling, I guess you could say. As of this morning, Depop has now followed Mercari and is now switching the fees to the buyer. However, I think they're actually doing it better. So I wish I had the screenshot. I don't have it up. I have it on my phone, but I don't think you guys are going to be able to see it. They just announced this morning that starting, I think the 18th, if I remember correctly, fees are going to be split. So right now, obviously, you pay all the fees for Depop on your side. So if you're a seller, you pay 15% in eBay or in Depop fees, and the buyer doesn't pay anything. Obviously, they just pay the price of the item. They are switching that, but unlike Mercari, they're actually balancing the fees out, and I actually like this a little bit better. What they're doing is basically I think the buyers are going to pay up to a 5% fee, like a buyer's premium or whatever, kind of like Mercari is doing as far as the percentage, you know, the selling fee is being switched over to the buyer's fee. But it's I think it's 5%. And then let me pull it up, make sure I've got my information here correct. Let's see. Okay, so Depop fee is 10%. But I think it's like a 3% processing fee right now, so it comes out to like a 13.5% or something like that. The 3.5% plus the 45 cents per transaction is still going to be charged the seller. So as the seller, you're still going to have to pay the payment processing fee, which is going to come out around 3.5% roughly. So you still have that fee that you're going to pay. The buyer will pay a 5% fee and a minimum of $1. So they are going to basically, if it's under $1, the fee is, they're going to just round it up to $1. If it's over $1 worth of fees, then it's 5% of whatever the buyer pays for the item. It's going to, and from what we know, it's going to work on all platforms. So the US, UK, all of them, which I think they're mainly a UK, but they obviously have the US platform. I think that's all. That basically the details of that. So they're actually dropping fees. If you consider that, the Depop fee is 10% right now plus the 3%. So it's going down to 5% plus the 3%. I'm not sure how they're going to see that increase. I don't know what they're expecting to see out of that, but it is an interesting kind of style, I guess you could say, what they're trying to do. Again, kind of what Mercari did, except for they're splitting the fee to where one side's paying half and the other side's paying almost half. So I like that, honestly. I think it's going to be really good for the platform. Let's be honest here, guys. I don't sell anything on Depop. I have a bunch of stuff listed, but none of it is selling. So I don't know. Again, I shouldn't say too much. Obviously, I only have, I think, 500 listings over there, whatever, but I've still not had any interest. So a little bummed on that. But it is good to see these platforms kind of making changes. And like I seen in a podcast recently, it may force eBay into some changes, which is going to be pretty good. Maybe make them reconsider some things. They've been the king of the hill, and obviously, you know, whenever you start losing market share, you're going to have to make some adaptations and some changes, and hopefully those are good changes. With eBay, you never know. So we'll see how that goes. But like I said, in general, though, it is cool to see Depop doing that. We'll see how it works for them, and hopefully it'll help boost some sales over there. I would love to see it. I love sales on any platform I can get. Pete said, wow, your background looks way different. You were busy this last week. Yeah, as you can see, I don't know if it's less messy. It's more organized. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you've seen the post. I did a post over there showing kind of what we did. That was our Friday project. And then if you haven't, though, definitely like that page. But we also got the Facebook page up and going finally, guys. It is in the links in the description box below, or just search Delco Resells over on Facebook. So if you aren't an Instagram person, but you want to follow us, we do have the Facebook page up, and we'll be posting the exact same things on both platforms. So don't feel like you're missing out one versus the other, but that way you can kind of keep an eye out. But yeah, we did do that project. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute as well. So I think that covers it. Like I said, with the Depop, pretty nice to see. We'll see how it pans out. Next up on the order, we got these New Balances here. These are a women's black running shoe. All black New Balances do really well. This one took a minute to sell, but we did do pretty good on it. I think, if I remember correctly, yeah, we paid $25 and sold them for $69.99. So 25 into 70 on these. Now with my reorganizing project, as you guys can see, I moved everything around, so hopefully I can get to stuff a little easier. That's the goal. We did get all of our shipping boxes out and labeled over here on the right-hand side, so you can see a portion of that. Basically just laid them out and labeled per size. Got the ones that hopefully I use the most right here close to me to make it a little bit easier for these streams, and then obviously when I'm packing off stream as well. But this job was supposed to be like an hour or two, and it literally took me all day plus an extra hour or two the next day. So typical project, you think, oh yeah, I can knock that out fast, and it takes forever. But super happy about it. It came out really nice. Still a little cramped in here, and I have more inventory in here than I want to have, but it is what it is. And basically we're just keeping the Amazon inventory, but at least it gets it out of the way. And I actually have a lot more floor space, which you guys can't really see over here, but there's a lot more floor space, so happy to get a little bit more room. Tired of living in what I feel like is a jungle gym, so to speak. Not a jungle gym, I guess a jungle of inventory and stuff like that. So really nice. Guys, don't sleep on these UPS labels. I don't like shipping UPS. Hashtag I'm with Joey. But yeah, I honestly, they're beating out USPS by almost $1 on all my 2 to 4 pound items. 1 pound is iffy. Most of the time when I'm shipping through Amazon, it's cheaper, and it's cheaper by like probably 50 cents or more. eBay, I haven't seen that big of a difference on the 1 pound items, but definitely all these shoes, these 2 to 4 pound items, it's always cheaper. Like UPS Ground is always cheaper than USPS Ground Advantage. But recently, in the past week or two, it's almost been $1 cheaper for any shoes over 2 pounds. So don't sleep on it. I mean, I've not had any issues. Some people have had issues with UPS. I've never had any issues. I always round up on the sizes and make sure that they can't get me there. I've heard horror stories, honestly. Not as bad as FedEx, but I have heard stories about it. So far, none for me. So I'm going to keep shipping them that way. If we run into problems, then we'll switch back. But I just can't pass up $1 cheaper on the shipping. It's just too much of a difference. Lotus, thank you for joining. You're another believer in the shoebox and a poly, I see. So I'm not... I don't like doing it, to be honest. But when the box is adding 6 to 8 ounces, and now with the new shipping increases, I can't see it feasible. I get every single pair of shoes I order online shipped to me in polys, from Amazon, from shoe stores, from everywhere. I think the only place that doesn't ship me shoes in polys is when you order like a bunch of them, obviously. But I think his Academy is the only one that I've ever not gotten shoes from in polys, and I know they ship hats in polys, so I'm sure they do. But yeah, with that increase, guys, it's rough. I mean, obviously you're paying for the box, number one, so that's 60 cents. And then you're paying the extra 6 to 8 ounces, which is going to push it over that next pound most of the time. And you're looking at least another $2 in shipping. There's literally that big of a difference right now. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm going back to poly, shoe boxes and polys. Anything over $100, I won't ship that way most of the time. And I do have shoe boxes, but it's just too big of a difference right now. And until they kind of even out these prices, which they normally do, it'll catch up or kind of even out. But until that point, yeah, we're shipping them in polys. P said jungle is another word for Amazon. It is. My own Amazon right here. That's how it goes. Chuck Norris, only have had issues on the ground saver during the USPS to US or UPS to USPS handoff, but not straight UPS ground. Same. I don't like shipping Smart Post with FedEx. I don't like shipping UPS ground saver, I think is what they're calling it, or now something like that. It's those ones that you hand off. Basically, you ship it through UPS, and the final delivery person is postal. They are not covering shipping anymore. They are not covering insurance on those, and you can't drop those items off. So you used to be able to drop off a ground saver at like the post office, and it would get there. They're not letting you do that anymore. They're actually telling you they're going to either destroy the item or dispose of it or whatever. So definitely make sure you're dropping off at the right spot. Obviously, guys, I mean, I've only done it once or twice, to be fair. but don't want it to get destroyed or lost in shipping, so definitely don't recommend that. Make sure you're dropping it off at the right spot. But yeah, I've never had any issues with UPS Ground. I've had to open an insurance claim, I think once or twice, and I've gotten paid for them fairly easily. I mean, it's obviously a hassle, but it's not, end of the world. So we're gonna go with it until we have issues, and if we have issues, then we might reconsider. But it's saving me $1 on every single pair of shoes I ship right now, so I can't really complain. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Reds hat. These are these foam truckers. These are like coming back into style or something. They're selling like crazy. Mesh back, and they have like the foam, I don't know what you can, foam front, I guess you could say. This one here, I've actually done really well. I had a bunch of these that I bought from a supplier. This is actually one of the first bulk buys I had in hats, and we paid, I think, about $9 for the snapbacks. Sold that one for $40 over on eBay, and we're not going to complain about that, are we? But that's pretty good. So yeah, this week, guys, obviously we did some reorganizing and rearranging, which is basically in here, and that finishes it up. I've actually got my whole entire inventory system. Everything is organized and good to go right now, which is really, really nice. We'll see how long it lasts, but it is set up and good to go. Super happy about it, but I am out of room. I am literally out of room. I've got some room for shoes now. Shoes have been moving, as you guys have seen in the videos. We've been selling 3 to 4 pairs a day at least, and through the weekend I'm selling quite a bit more. This is actually the slowest amount of orders I've had for shoes in a long time. So, we'll take what we can get, but we are starting to sell out of some of those movers. Like honestly, the Under Armour our lockdowns are out. I'm out of most of my Nike ones that were selling really well. I had a buyer actually buy a pair of Nike women's shoes. I shipped it, everything. I was on it. I shipped it out the same day, like within an hour, which is not normally the case. And they didn't realize that it was a women's size. So they're going to be coming back, but they're paying the shipping and I'm deducting the original shipping. So we already worked that out. The buyer was super happy about being able to work out the return. They just didn't realize somehow. I don't know. It was in the title. It was in the description. It was in the product details. No issue with mine. I checked mine, double checked it because I have a lot of those shoes available. And there was no issue on my side. But they just didn't read, apparently. So is what it is. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens hat. This is an all black snapback with the mesh. These all black hats sell. So if you can ever find them, I wouldn't hesitate to pick them up. Almost every team they're going to sell. They're very popular right now. This has the white logo. The all black logos do even better, but they still sell really well. This one here we picked up for $11 and sold it for $40. So this was actually just I think it was just a clearance sale or something like that at a hat store. It wasn't anything, no special deals or anything like that. So you can always find those deals out there, guys. It's not just in bulk buys and so on. You can still find some really good deals. Honestly, guys, I have a secret stash right now, a secret online website that I'm ordering hats from. They have $10 hats quite often, and I've been buying them up from there. And don't you guys go searching for it. All right, but you can find them. They're out there, and there's there's all kinds of good inventory out there. You just have to go find it, as some people say. All right. Do you guys have anything going on in your reselling business that is news to you, or is kind of something you didn't know, anything like that? We're gonna jump into our main topic here in just a second, but I want to hear from you guys. Is there anything you found out recently with reselling? I tell people every day, you learn every day. There's literally not a day that goes by that I don't hardly learn something in this game, and knowledge is everything. That's how you learn, obviously, with sourcing products, what sells, what doesn't, all that good stuff. But just, it's so important. So if there's anything you guys have learned that maybe you want to share, let us know in the chat box or in the comment box below. We're going to get started in this next topic right after we ship this hat on shipping cross country and how you can charge more or even block out places. Lots of good details that we have coming up soon. Feel like a TV show with that. Next up, we have this Atlanta Hawks, right? Yes, Atlanta Hawks NBA hat. These are, again, all black hat. 47 MVP. This one here we paid, what did we pay for this one? I think we paid $6 or $7 for these. And I actually ended up with a bunch of these. They sell pretty regularly, and they're going for about 30 or 35, $30. So 6 into 30 for the MVP. Again, all black hats are where it's at right now. That and the foam truckers. All right, so we're going to start into the main topic, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. We'd love to hear and love to chat with you guys about whatever it is. Doesn't even have to be reselling related. But I do want to talk about what we've got going on. Oh, sorry, Greeny, I missed your message there. Your organized look with the shelves has me ready to reorganize my own space. Space being a joke when you're a reseller, right? Yeah, it makes you feel better once you get it done like this. It makes you feel better. I do lose some space. Obviously, I've got some gaps and stuff that as a reseller, I'm always looking for that little nook and cranny. If you've seen the rest of my house, you'd understand. So I do lose a little bit there, but like I said, it does keep it organized. It's also going to allow me to see what I need to order. So I know which boxes I use a lot of. Obviously, these are some random ones that I've just had, like these 3 random ones here. I've been using them for tumblers. There's a few randoms that I probably won't reorder, but for these major ones that I have, it gives me all my boxes out here, and then I have the rest of my bulk in the closet. That way I can make sure I don't run out. I hate running out of supplies, and I do it quite often. So we're trying to keep that organized. And again, same thing with the shelves behind me. It just keeps all my polys ready, my bubble mailers, which I really don't use that much anymore, and just gives me some extra storage for some random stuff. So guys, these are just the shoe racks. So if you're ever looking for cheap storage for polys, obviously you can't put a lot of weight on these. But just a quick tip, if you are looking for something like this is just those shoe racks off Amazon. I recommend getting the one with the center supports. That way it gives you more bulk and you can hold a little bit more weight. I only use it for polys and a few boxes, just a couple here. But most of the stuff is really light, but it helps organize it and keep it and gives you like a lot of shelf space. So just a little tip there. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this, and then hopefully I can do this. This is new, guys. I've not done this a whole lot. I'm going to be screen sharing one of my screens over here and showing you guys what I'm talking about while I talk about it, and hopefully it makes sense. But something I came across, now this may not be news to some of you, but this was news to me and news to several of my reselling buddies, that we figured out. We've always heard, especially if you live on the coasts, whether it's the East Coast or the West Coast, you know that getting that order, whether if you're on, say you're in Florida and you get that order to California, you just cringe because you know you're going to be paying an extra $3, $5, whatever it is, to ship clear over there, that far of the zone. Same thing for me. Obviously, I'm a little more central right now, but with living in Arizona soon, it's going to be the same way. If I'm going to be shipping to Maine or Delaware or wherever up there, or even Florida, that shipping cost is going to go through the roof. So what a lot of people don't realize is that you can actually go in and charge more shipping to specific areas of the country, or you can just not ship to them, which I don't recommend. But if it's really costing you, especially on large items, guys, obviously on our first class or ground advantage, like our hats and stuff like that, doesn't matter hardly where it's going. It's 20-cent difference, whatever. I wouldn't recommend changing that. Just figure that into your cost. But when you're shipping large things, shoes could be one of them, but especially anything over like that 5 to 6 pound rate, as soon as you start shipping that stuff any further distances, you are going to be eating a lot more in shipping costs. So one way you can do to kind of be competitive, obviously a lot of people consider the worst case scenario, which is what I always do. If I know a hat is going to cost me most $5 to ship across the country, I'm just going to incorporate that $5 into my free shipping. Again, if you don't do free shipping, this still applies. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you do free shipping, obviously, you just count that into your cost. This hat I know is going to cost me $5 max to ship across the country, and I know it's going to be, I paid whatever for it. I know the market's at $35 right now. I'm going to price that at $35 and expect to make 30 bucks. Okay. That's how it is. Or, obviously after fees. But when you get into some of those bigger items, you know that it's going to possibly cost you $10 to ship a couple states over, or it's going to cost you $20 to ship across the country. So that's where this comes into play. And I'm going to hopefully pull this up. Maybe this will work. We'll see. We've got the shipping templates over here. So as you guys can see, I am in my shipping template. I've got one specifically set up. My Rakuten's trying to give me cash back on eBay. If you didn't know that, you can do that as well. But here we have, obviously, this is just a shipping template you can set up in the shipping rate tables. Okay. And if you don't know where that is, you can find it. There's links and stuff like that. Maybe I'll include a link in the description. But if you haven't set up a shipping template, you obviously need to, and I think it's required now anyway. But what I have here is I have this one named just extra charge to far states. And as you guys can see, I don't have any of the express or anything like that set up, but I do have economy shipping. Okay, this is USPS SurePost, USPS Resale Ground, etc. What we have here is all these regions, and what you can do is you can actually go in and I believe click on this, and you can select which regions. Okay. Obviously we have all of them selected, but if you actually open up, I think it was the West one here. Let's see. Oh, yep, I do have. Okay, so let me restart. Sorry, guys. Let me delete these and let's just do it from scratch. Okay. So as you can see, if you have a blank shipping template here, you can go in and create a region. What you can do is you can select which ones you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that we're on the East Coast. Okay. We're going to actually click all of these and we're going to skip on the other. That's Hawaii, Alaska, and stuff like that, which obviously if you're going to be doing this, you're probably going to want to include those in your furthest distance because they are going to be the most cost every time. But what you can do is once you've clicked on these, you can go through and deselect certain states. In some states, you can actually deselect certain areas. So say I'm living in Florida right now. If I want to take and make sure that anything going to the West Coast, I don't want to offer free shipping on them. I'm going to charge a couple of dollars for shipping over there. So all you do is deselect whichever states those are. So we're going to go California, we're going to go Oregon, and we're going to go Washington. Oops, that's Wyoming. We'll leave Wyoming on there. Let's go Washington, okay? So we're going to deselect those and hit save. And then we would set this to, $0 or whatever. I don't have my keyboard in front of me, so I can't do this. But you're going to set this to free shipping. Then what you can do is you can actually go in here and select the ones that you didn't select. So California, Washington, and Oregon. Save those, and you can actually set this to a shipping charge. So you can maybe put a $5 shipping charge. If you're setting this up for shoes, this template to ship shoes, you can charge maybe a $3 fee to ship to those states to cover that extra cost for those areas. Or you can just choose not to ship them. You can actually delete this, and then anybody in Washington, Oregon, or California cannot buy your item. So you can do this, and you can actually set this up for every single speed of shipping. If you have more like overnight or anything like that, you can set these charges to be different for different states. You can actually take it one step further too, which I don't know why you would do this, unless you just know it's something particular. But you can go in most of these states and actually select areas. So maybe you don't want to ship to the southern part of California. Maybe you've noticed there's a difference in fees there or whatever. Maybe it's an extra $1 or something. You can deselect just the southern part of California. However you want to do it, you can do all kinds of customization in here and change those fees or just not ship. And again, guys, this is going to be definitely something for those of you that are shipping from further distances. Okay, so obviously if you're in the middle of the country, you're probably not going to need to have access to that, but this is just something that allows you to change those rates. And again, guys, I'm not going to be using this for almost everything I send unless I get some large items that I know are going to cost me $20-$30 more, a 20-pound item or 30-pound item. That's when I'm definitely going to utilize it to make sure that it goes there. What that does, guys, is that keeps you competitive. If you utilize these, especially for things that you're seeing a big difference in, you want to be competitive in the market. If the market price is $35, but you can't make that amount because you're afraid of shipping it across the country, you can set that to where people in your area, you're going to be right in the market, and people in the other areas, you're going to be a couple bucks more. You're still possibly going to get sales off of that because obviously, as we know, you don't have to be the bottom dollar. But it just allows you to customize that and keep yourself competitive in those markets. So super, super cool. Again, guys, this isn't really anything new. I honestly have known you can deselect areas, but I never considered putting it into use. I've never considered it up until recently when I started seeing these, $15-$20 charges for items going that far, that seen how you can utilize that. So hopefully that helps, guys. Obviously, just depends on what you're doing, if that's going to be something you can utilize in your business. But I would highly recommend it, especially on those higher price items. You can keep your price competitive, and then for those further distances, you're not going to be as competitive, but it's going to cover your basis, and you're not going to lose money, especially on some larger items. So hopefully that's helpful. Chuck says, learned box in a bag, game changer cubic rates, especially for SPS priority. Yeah, that's true, especially if you're doing what's it called? Pirate ship and stuff like that. It can make some differences for that, for sure. I didn't realize that still was a thing. I thought they had gotten rid of that. I'd heard, well, not heard, but I understood that they were trying to get rid of that. I don't know if they have. Just what I've heard. All right, let's ship the next thing. So hopefully, guys, that helps out. And if you have questions on that, let me know. I may be doing a quick little video on this if I can get a little bit of spare time. Also, another thing resellers don't know much about. But if I can get some spare time, I am going to maybe do a quick video on that, a tutorial, just to kind of show that. That way people don't have to watch the whole stream for it. But definitely something cool, and I felt was going to be really helpful maybe to those that didn't know it. Next up, we've got this Yankees 47 hat. This is actually a fitted Yankee, or a fitted 47 franchise. I didn't realize these were fitted when I bought them, but luckily, it's actually selling pretty well. And this is the Bronx Bombers edition of this hat. It is a Yankees hat. Sold that one for, I believe, $30 if I remember correctly. Yeah, I picked those up for $3 from a supplier and selling them for $30. So cannot complain there. All right. What do we got next? Do you guys have any questions, anything going on? Let me know. I know I say that all throughout the video, but I really do want to hear about it. It helps me keep me motivated to keep me on what we've been doing. This week was pretty crazy. Honestly, I have spent almost the entire week just working on the website. And I was hoping to have that done soon, but I have not been able to get it done. Just with everything else going on. So we are working on it, and obviously it's just taking a lot more time. So this week we literally spent just organizing the product. So I've kind of got the website set up. I've kind of got the pages done for what I'm looking for, but just adding the products in. So we imported them all. I am using, I think, LitCommerce to do that, if you're familiar with Shopify. We imported all the products in, and it works pretty well, but unfortunately it missed some photos, like almost a third of the items that were missing a few of the photos that didn't get imported, which means I literally spent 2 days going through checking every single item of my 1,300 imported items, every single item to make sure all the pictures were there and that they were set up in the right order and everything that I wanted. I spent 2 days doing that. Some of the most tedious work ever, literally clicking on listing, adding the photos that were missing, comparing, making sure the title looked good. I don't want to ever do it again. But honestly, it had to be done, and it did get it set up. And now I can maintain that by just going through every week when I add new products to the website, which I'm going to do like on a weekly basis. I'll import them in from eBay and then make sure that they're correct. So it won't be near as big of a project, but it was a huge project this week, and it took a bunch of time, and I don't care to ever have to do it again. So it kind of set me back on the website. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't have it launched this weekend, and we'll share some of that info with you guys next week's stream. The next one are these New Balance. You guys see me sell a ton of these a few months ago when we got them. Actually, this might be my last pair, my second to last pair, something like that. It's size 8, so it took a minute to sell, but it did sell, and we sold it for, I think, still $69.99. No, $60. So 20 into 60 on these ones, which is kind of a decent hold, I guess you could say, on that. Definitely not complaining. Should have jumped the price because these sold so fast. I just didn't expect them to. It's kind of an odd colorway, but they did really well. New Balance, guys, my secret weapon. I love New Balance. They're selling them. Thank you for bringing up this topic. I'm in Southern California, so this will be extremely helpful. Awesome. Hey, that's why we do it. I like I said, I was really just, I felt stupid because I knew you could go in and choose certain states, because I've done it with Hawaii and Puerto Rico and all these different ones. I've done it multiple times with them on all my platforms. It just never dawned on me that I could utilize it again to help with shipping, across the country. So it was super helpful for me. Glad to be able to share it. Hopefully, it helps you guys out, especially those of you that live on the coast, which I know a lot of you do. Again, these ones are going out UPS ground because they were $1 cheaper. And the only bad thing about UPS is I do have to actually go drop it off, which sucks. I'm used to my pickups, and I don't feel like paying a $4 fee every day to have UPS pick up. And obviously at that point, it would probably not even be worth it because it would eat up all the profit I saved. But there is a store right around the corner from me. I just have to go and do it. And, that's me. I don't like leaving the house. I've become an introvert and I'm kind of a hermit in not wanting to go. Next up, Chuck Norris says, looks like on Pirate Ship, it's not that it's cheap. And let's say, not understanding. Looks like on Pirate Ship, it's not that it's cheaper full price. The cubic just gets steeper discounts. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, they just have a better deal worked out for the cubic rates. Next up, we have these Skechers, kind of like a work boot, I guess you could say. These are not the steel toe, but they are the extra wides. We picked these up the same time we picked up all those brown ones, and these are just now starting to sell. I don't know if somebody had me tanked out or not. But they are just now starting to sell. I think we sold 2 this week in a size 11. So happy to see these start moving. Those brown ones flew. I think I've only got 1 or 2 pair of those left. And these ones I've got probably 20, 30 pair of. So I was really happy to see these sell. I think I mentioned it, but one of the reasons these weren't selling up until a few weeks ago was the fact that I had them mislabeled. I did a sell similar off the brown pair and forgot to change the title. So the title still said brown, and when everybody clicked on it, they had gray photos. So people aren't going to buy that when it's a typo like that. People aren't going to buy the item because they don't know, and most people are not too lazy. I mean, I would say the same thing. If you don't list it right, why would I buy it? I'm going to probably end up with the wrong item. They're not going to buy it from you. So one thing I would recommend, and this is actually something that goes along with what we did this week, is double checking your work, obviously, but it doesn't hurt to maybe take, same way we do like an inventory of items to make sure we still have them. It's probably not a bad idea to go through and check and make sure your listings are correct and there's not any major typos, especially in the, what's it called? The titles. When going through all these items and adding them, I had to go through and try to make the titles more uniform for the website. Obviously on eBay, you try to make it to where they pull up in search terms. That's the whole thing with the title, is to make sure it's pulling up in searches. But on a website, you just want it to tell what the item is. And that is something I've had to do. I've had to go through all my hats and try to make sure that the titles make sense, that they look okay. And that was part of kind of going through and make sure all the photos were there. With doing that, though, I found so many typos. And like, it makes me really worried because that's only my hats. That's not anything else. So many typos, not just misspellings and stuff, which is understandable, but like wrong colors, stuff that you just copy and pasted. If you sell similar, there were some item specifics. I had a red hat and it said it was blue. Just stuff like that. A little scary, honestly, and it may be why some items aren't selling. So something to consider is taking your time when you're doing your listings. Make sure you're getting the listings correct and accurate, because it may hurt you in the long run. I'm one of those people, I want to list as fast as I can, get as many items up as I can. I got a little spider hanging down here. Oh, come here. I don't know if you guys can see him on camera. Probably not. But anyway, so my wife would be freaking out right now. But it is probably worth the extra time to make sure that your listings are accurate and correct, because it's causing, like I said, it's probably hurting me in sales more than the fast getting a ton of items up are. If 1 out of every 10 items is mistyped or something like that, it's really, really bad and is going to cause issues. So something I'm considering is just spending a little bit more time doing that. Let's see. I started doing a full inventory. I'm about 70% done. I was able to fix listing prices, quantities, and more. I'll be doing this every summer now. It's a great idea. It's something I need to do. I won't be doing until I get moved, just because obviously you're going to lose inventory and misplace it and stuff like that with moving. So I'm going to wait till after I move and get set up in the new place. But I highly recommend at least once a year going through and doing an inventory. Retail stores do it for a reason. Obviously, they want to know their numbers and shrink and stuff like that. You may not have shrink per se. Hopefully no one's stealing them out of your home. But you do need to make sure you have it. I found some items just a couple days ago that aren't listed anymore on Amazon. The listing got taken down or something. Didn't realize it, and I have 20 of them sitting in there in my tote. They can't sell. They're not listed. So definitely recommend at least once a year doing it. Even if you some people do it monthly. I can't do it monthly. I just have to focus and get it done when I want to get it done. But you can do monthly. Maybe go through 10 totes, 20 totes, however many totes you have, split them up between the year and go through so many totes per year and do it. It's a great way too to refresh your listings, comp them, and stuff like that while you're doing that. But it takes time, and obviously if you're like me, I would much rather go source and list new stuff than refresh my old stuff. But at the end of the day, you're tying up money, so it is definitely worth it. Like I said, some people do it monthly. That can be done, but it is going to be something that I recommend at least doing yearly for sure, because let's be honest, guys, inventory gets lost. You can be the most organized person ever, and you're still gonna have items that either get pulled down or stuff you sold and then it got returned and then get relisted. Amazon's terrible about, if somebody orders it and then cancels the order, the inventory doesn't go back into your inventory, or if it doesn't go through for payment or whatever the reason is, you lose that. So it doesn't go back in your inventory, and if you aren't on top of it personally, then you're going to run into issues having a bunch of inventory that's not actually up for sale. So definitely recommend that. Let's see here. We got these shoes. These are those crazy deals on the big clearance event we had, what, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, or beginning of June, I think, end of May, beginning of June. We picked up these. Are they the Moans? No, the Manoas. Sorry, Manoa leather boots. These sell like crazy, guys. I thought I was gonna have to hold these till winter time. That is not the case. I'm literally going to be sold out probably the end of this month. We're down to just the last couple of pairs in both the black and the brown. So crazy deals on these, or crazy sell through on these if you ever find them. We picked these ones up for, I believe, I didn't write it down. I believe we picked these up for $35, and we're getting $90 out of them. So crazy amount of profit in these, and like I said, we just got lucky. I should have hit more stores. I knew I should have, but I just didn't have the space at the time. Now that it's all cleared out, of course, I'm kicking myself, but cannot complain with that kind of profit on these. Definitely worth it. Let's see. Trying to keep up with the comments. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you all for your interactions. Appreciate that. Guys, we did hit 250 subscribers. I have not forgotten. We hit it last week. Thank you so much for that. We are going to be doing the giveaway and stuff like that. I just have to figure out how to get it set up. I want it to be not just for those that watch these live. Obviously, you know, we're getting 100, 150 views after the fact on these videos, which is just fantastic. I appreciate that support. And we're picking up a couple of subscribers every day. So I don't want to cut them out of it. Obviously, you know, with the channel being mostly lives, it would be cool to do the giveaway live. But I think I'm trying to come up with a better way to make it fair to everybody, because obviously not everybody can join us on a Monday morning, especially those that work, you know, actual jobs, you know, real life jobs, I guess you could say, not at home doing what we do. So I want to make it fair to everybody. So if you guys have any ideas on how to do that, I'm not stalling. I'm not trying to hold out or anything like that. I just really do want to make it the best opportunity for everybody to have a chance, and also hopefully grow the channel. So hopefully we can get something that has to do with like the Instagram and stuff like that, maybe some extra entries or so over there. That would be awesome. So just trying to figure out how to do that. If you guys have suggestions, let me know. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about that, and if you guys have any ideas, because honestly, I'm just drawing a blank on how to do it. So, but thank you guys so much for all your support when it comes to all the giveaways, or not the giveaways, the subscribers, and all of you guys that watch and like the videos, guys. Those likes help a ton, so I appreciate when you do that as well. We already talked about the Facebook page getting up and going. Again, guys, that is just going to be a direct copy, or hopefully be a direct copy of the Instagram page. So if you don't have to follow us on both of them if you don't want to, but if you want to follow us on one of them at least, that way you can get kind of the behind the scenes. And also, if there's for some reason delays or anything like that, it's a lot easier to update over there than it is here. The post thing doesn't really work very well, I don't feel like, and I don't want to just constantly upload reels of, you know, issues. So I would like to keep the reels to actual, you know, quick tips and stuff like that. But if you want to follow us over there, it's a quick and easy way for that to do that. I actually almost thought I was going to have to do that this morning. My camera battery, I must have left it on from last stream and it died, and I didn't realize it. So when I went to go stream today, it wouldn't turn on, and it kind of scared me. But we got it charged up, and it's still charging now while we're doing this, so super good. Also, the live stream, thank you guys so much for those of you who stuck with us last week. Even though we had the lagging issue, we kind of got it corrected and were able to finish out the stream. I did figure out what that was, and shouldn't be an issue. We took the PC out, and it was the dirtiest PC I think I've ever seen. I did have it on the floor, which obviously is not good, but it was just where I could put it. That's actually what sparked the whole reorganizing of the room here, because I ended up having to put it on my desk, so it's actually just left of the camera here. We cleaned out the PC, and it was unbelievably dirty. I've seen a lot of dirty PCs. I have not seen one that bad. So pretty sure it was just overheating due to that. And we have not had any issues. Fingers crossed, knock on wood today. It's been really, really smooth. So hopefully we address that concern and we won't have that issue again. At least for a little while until we need to clean it out again. But thank you for those of you that stuck it out. I do appreciate that. And for those of you that didn't, that's no problem. I completely understand. Obviously, it's no fun to watch something that's jittery and jagged. These were those, I think, the same shoes we just shipped out, the black ones in a different size, 33 into 90 for these particular ones here. So we will take that. All right, we're going to move into our Amazon orders, which are the labels on the walls, and kind of get moving on there. So we're about halfway through, believe it or not, guys. That's only half. Let's see, what other topics do we have? We talked about 3 days of fixing listings, yeah, on my eBay and on the website. Pretty much all I did. I did go sourcing on Wednesday, picked up some more hats, of course, from my hat supplier. As you guys know, I'm taking advantage of those right now because I have it, especially the one particular one that I go through every week. I'm not doing bulk buys from this supplier most of the time. It's not bulk buys. So I'm just trying to take advantage of these super cheap deals on hats and stuff like that. Taking advantage of those while I have it, because obviously I won't be able to do that once I move, unless we find another location that we can do that from, or another supplier. But I'm just trying to take advantage of it, stocking up on as much of this cheap inventory, I guess you could say, these cheap hats that I can. That way, whenever I move, until I find another supplier, I'll have a good variety of them. And obviously, guys, with starting this website, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I have hope that this website is going to take off and do fairly well. I have a platform for it that I don't think there's a lot of other companies that can. So I think it's an opportunity, and hopefully we can grow it. And if it does grow, obviously I'm going to need, the inventory for it to keep it relevant and keep new inventory coming in, so that people continue to shop and reshop after they purchase. So that's why I'm really focusing on hats. It's not the best for my business right now. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I need to be buying more, how should I put it, better sell-through items, because with doing these hats, obviously I'm having to invest a lot more money into it and waiting for the return later on down the road. The sell-through we already talked about is slow on hats. So for the business to continue to grow and everything, I need to be investing. I shouldn't be investing quite as much into this. However, I'm investing into it to hopefully make this website thing a reality and be another revenue stream. So it's kind of like investing for the future, I guess you could say. Again, I know I need to be focusing on some faster selling stuff. It would help my sales a lot and keep my growth going up on eBay. But I'm just spending this time while I have these great suppliers to focus on getting some inventory to hopefully boost this business. Long story short, that's why I'm really focusing on the hats. Not because it's just that they're the most amazing thing ever, but I really do have to take advantage of it while I can. You guys probably didn't care to hear all that, but that's what it was. This one is a Columbia bucket hat. I've actually got another one I'll show you guys here in just a second. I didn't really show you this one. This is from that supplier, and we picked these up for $2.50, and we are selling them for $28. Actually just sold out. These are my last two. Can't complain with that kind of profit, but definitely wish I had more of them. Next up, we've got some Nike Vapor baseball pants. You guys have seen these go out. They've slowed down quite a bit because Nike went through and removed a bunch of listings on Amazon that weren't theirs. Somebody had created a listing, as well as going through and inactivating a bunch of them that were old styles. So they'll do that. They're still on Amazon, but they're not going to show up at search results. You almost have to find the link or search for the exact title or whatever. Basically, it's like being hidden. And that's a pain, unfortunately. So that's why these have kind of slowed down in selling. They're not doing very well compared to what they were, but they are still selling eventually. And we're down to 3 totes of baseball pants total, so we'll take it. We paid $10 for these and sold them for $40. And these are just the gray, standard gray, what do you call it? Yeah, just the standard gray. It's giving me fits. Standard gray colorway, that's what I'm looking for. Never had so much trouble packaging up a poly. There we go. All right. Let's see. Let's grab the label for that one. Wherever they are. Maybe. Gotta find it now. Of course. There they are. All right. 10 into 40 on those. Let's see here. Make sure I'm up on the comments. Yep, comments are all good. Let's see. What else did we do? So many listing mistakes. Setting shipping policies. I think we covered that. This is another topic. I kind of wanted to make this into another video, but I think I'll cover it now. Something to consider, and this is something that I, again, just learned, just started thinking about. I always consider my sales and seeing if they're, averaging out, or if they're, consistent or not, by looking at the sales and seeing what the sales dollar amount is. So guys, my consistent, what I want to see is I want to sell at least $500 a day. It's kind of the goal for what I sell. That's just kind of my goal, and it's been kind of what I've been able to maintain, about $500 roughly, give or take a little bit, per day on eBay or a combination of the sites that I sell on. But something it didn't dawn on me until recently is to see if you're actually having consistent sales. You should almost be looking at the transaction number of sales per day versus the dollar amount. Especially if you sell a lot of different items. For instance, myself, I sell shoes and hats. Hats are selling for 30 bucks. Shoes are selling for 60 or more. So you have two variations. If you sell a lot of shoes in one day, or say you sell 5 pairs of shoes in a day, that's the same as selling 10 hats, roughly. So your dollar amount can be the same, but your transactions can be a lot lower for the day, or vice versa. You can sell, only have $300 in sales, but you still sold 10 items. And something I haven't considered and never even really paid attention to, but it's something I'm going to start paying attention to, is the actual transaction amount per day, to see how things are stacking up. To see if I did 5 sales yesterday and only 2 sales today, okay, that's an issue. But if I'm getting 5 sales each day and it's just the amount of the dollar amount that I'm not selling is consistent, that could just be the fact of what I'm selling. Just something, an observation, I guess you could say, that I noticed. I didn't even show you guys these. Sorry, I get busy talking. These are 2 Nike kids hats. I actually bought these as a test run from a supplier and paid, I think, $8 for each. Nike, I didn't know how well they would do, and actually the retail tag on them was $25. So I bought them. They were on Amazon, and I went ahead and listed them. Nobody was on the Amazon listing. I'm selling them for $35 a pop, and I actually sold the first 2 that I bought within 12 hours of the listing going up. So I went back and bought all of them. I think I have 18 or 20 of them total. We sold 1 of each color to the same buyer, and sold them for $35 each. Like I said, we paid about $7.58 for them, and are selling them for $35, and they are moving fast. I don't necessarily recommend kids hats. Most of the time they do not sell, or if they do sell, it's extremely rare. But they are doing well in these particular ones, and again, Nike is going to be pretty well, and it's on Amazon, again, where people are going to be shopping. Most people don't shop, I feel like most people don't shop for clothing for the kids on eBay. That's just me. I've never had any good deal or any good sales on kids clothing or anything like that on eBay. And even the kids hats, I don't think I've ever sold a kids hat on eBay. It's always been Mercari or Amazon or one of these other platforms. So just keep that in mind. But like I said, we did sell these ones, and they are moving rather fast. So hopefully that'll do good for us, and something kind of a bolo to keep an eye out for over there. Next up, we're just grabbing some random items, guys, just to ship a variety of stuff for you. We've got these Hey Dudes slides. You guys have seen me ship these out before. These are the standard camos in the size 11, I think. We're selling them for 40 bucks. Paid 15 for them on a recent sale on Hey Dudes. These are actually sold out now, so I can tell you where I got them. But this is actually from the Hey Dudes website, guys. I got these for like $13. It came out to like almost 15 after tax. And we've been selling them all day long for 40 bucks because they sold out on Amazon as well. Now, slides, guys, they're better than shoes, but you still have to worry about returns. Obviously, it's Amazon. It is what it is, so to speak. I have had a few more returns than I like to see on these, so hopefully that doesn't continue. But we're getting really good, what's it called? Really good return on our investment on these, so we'll take an extra 1 or 2. This is another one, guys. This was a pound item, and it was 50 cents cheaper to go UPS ground instead of USPS. Over on Amazon, they have obviously a better rate through them. Next up, we've got an Adidas hat here. We paid, I think, $6 for these from my supplier, and we are getting it. Are we selling for 30? No, we're selling for $35. Retail on them is 30, but we're the only ones that have them. Again, just discontinued models. So can't complain there. It's just a white mesh back. It is a fitted, but it is a large, extra large. So it's a pretty standard size. Again, 6 into 35. We will take that all day long. But yeah, so sales consistency is something that I've been trying to, again, master, see what is actually going on. I'm trying not to invest too much of my time into worrying about it. Because at the end of the day, what can you do? You can only do so much. You've got to go through and, Obviously, you can adjust your listings, make sure you're competitive, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it may not be anything you're doing. It could just be the the market for that day or whatever the case may be. Sales are not going to be just the same every single day. You work in retail at all, you learn that real fast. They used to try, when we worked retail, they used to try to budget and plan for how many employees to have based off of like a trending pattern. And it was, most of the time it was close, but there were some days that it was way off. Can't understand human nature when it comes to that. You never know what people are going to do. So some days it's just off. And I feel like that's how selling is on eBay, Amazon, whatever it is. You're definitely going to see that. Speaking of other platforms, as far as like, selling on multiple and how you can see a sales difference, like I said, this week, Amazon was up. eBay was about the same, but Amazon was up. This is another pair of those Hey Dudes, just a different color. These are the tiger camo, and these sold again 15 into 40 for these as well. We have not seen any sales for the past week on any of my other platforms. Mercari hasn't had any sales. Depop hasn't. Posh, whatnot, all of those, nothing. Literally have not seen anything. Again, I'm not cross-listed at all this week, so that could be some of it. But it's just crazy to me. Like, it's just crazy how you can go weeks and, have, good sales and stuff, and then it just drops off. But it is what it is. Let's see, this one here. I think we sold it for 35, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what... Obviously, I don't consider that into my sales. Most of the time, that's just a bonus for me if I get a sale over on one of those platforms. So I don't worry about it too much, but it is curious. I don't know if they have algorithms. I mean, they could. I know Posh does with the sharing and stuff, and nobody's been able to answer my question as far as if I can use, like, what app was it that I was wanting to use? It's not Posh or VA. That's the one that's expensive. But like Flip or any of those other ones, if we can use them with Vendoo, because you have to do sharing and stuff to get sales on Poshmark. And I don't want to go through and click on every single listing. That's ridiculous. So I don't know. We haven't figured that part out yet over there. Adidas pink hat. This is Adidas Originals. We got this from a recent sale that we called out over in Bread and Butter. If you're interested in Bread and Butter, there's a link in the description to sign up, or you can shoot me a message. But over in Bread and Butter, the call out from there. These are awesome. They sell so fast. This one was sold for $35, and I think we paid $11 for those particular ones. So definitely a quick sell. They're moving fast, and that's partially because I'm the only one that have them over on Amazon right now. Where is my pink hat? There it is. 6 in. Oh, we only paid. No, I think we paid more than 6 for these. I could be wrong. I have it written down as 6, but I think we paid 10 or 11 for those. All right. But what was I saying? Oh, like the Posh or VA or whatever. Yeah, getting sales over on Poshmark, I do have to share, and I haven't been doing that, so I guess I can't expect a whole lot. Next up on these, we sold these guys for $34.99. These are some just Adidas Aqua Slides, I think is what they're called. No, Adilite, sorry. Yeah, Adilite Aquas. Retailing these are $27. I don't know why they're selling for $35, and I've had them for a minute, so I don't know. Maybe the other people sold out. That's probably what happened. But we're peeling off the original price because it says $27. $35 for these, and I think we paid $11 for them at a Kohl's clearance event. So don't sleep on those Kohl's clearance events. We are due for one pretty soon. We haven't heard anything yet, but I would say probably this month, maybe end of this month or beginning of next. I don't see them not doing one. So hopefully we'll get another Kohl's event here pretty soon. I don't know what else is going on, guys. I feel like I've talked about everything. So let's just talk about what we're selling, shall we? You guys have anything that's you got questions on, or any interesting items going on in your reselling business? Let me know. We had some crazy news in the world. I'm sure all of you guys are aware. So that was pretty interesting information. I'm not going to get into politics on here, but crazy to see that stuff happening in the U.S. That's stuff you don't see here in the U.S. at all. So hopefully it's not a future thing. I don't care what party you are or anything like that. That's not what America's about. So hopefully they can get a handle on that and we don't see that in the future. But unfortunately, it's just where I think the the world is at the moment. Oops, let's see. I think I threw a UPS ground in here. Yes, I did. All right. That's one thing bad about shipping 2 different methods. I got to keep everything separate, and I'm not doing a very good job about it. Just tends to be going that way. Next up on the sales list, we have these Nike Futura camo snapbacks. Guys, Bolo, if you ever find these, we're selling these for $50 right now, and I sold out of them quicker than almost anything else I've ever sold out of on Amazon. We only picked up 2 or 3 is all we got, but definitely keep an eye out for these. I've sold these in the past. I bought a ton of them one time from a clearance sale that we got called out on Bread and Butter online, and they sold. It took a while to sell at that point, but we were getting like $40 for them. Nobody has them right now, and they're selling for $50. So definitely a big bolo. And again, with a Nike hat, you should be able to find these in multiple places, guys. I know Burlington, Ross, Marshalls all sell them at certain points. Yes, they may be $15 or so. I think I paid $10 for these. But, you know, they might be $15 or so, but still 15 into 50 is a crazy good dollar amount. And like I said, they sell fast. So keep an eye out for the Nike Futuras. All right. Let's see. Nike hat label. We got that one going out. We're almost done here, actually, guys. So let me know if you got anything going on. If you got any other topics, what are you trying to talk about? Or what do you want to see talked about in the next few episodes? Let me know. I'd love to get some topics that you guys are interested in. And if you're rewatching this, let me know in the comments. I don't know how many people make it an hour and 7 minutes into the video, but if you have, thank you so much. And would love to hear from you on what you'd like to see next. Greedy says, I'm trying out a new cross-listing tool, Auto-Posture. I was just not a fan of Vendoo. So Auto-Posture, I think, is the one of the ones I was looking into for the sharing and stuff. Vendoo, guys, it's a good time to give an update on Vendoo. I have a link in the description for a sign up, and normally I don't put anything down there unless I feel like it's worth it. I'm going to be honest with you, though. If you are doing retail online arbitrage like I am, and you have multi-quantity listings, okay, if you're selling 20, 30 of an item, it doesn't have to be that many, even 2 or 3 even, just be warned. I think we talked about it already, but the inventory is not synced live when you use Vendoo. Once it sells out on one platform, I believe this is how it works. Once it sells the quantity, so say you have 8 of these in your Vendoo and you have them listed everywhere and you're selling them on all different sites, once 8 of them have sold, it will pull it down from all your other listings. But if, for instance, you have it listed on eBay with a quantity of 8, then you have 3 listed on Mercari and those 3 sell, it doesn't reduce your eBay. So your eBay still says you have 8, and it won't get pulled until you sell the 5 or more. So just keep that in mind. Again, it works, and you just have to keep it kind of that in mind and how you handle it and how you check it daily and stuff. But it is not the greatest when it comes to multi-quantities, okay? If you have individual listings and you're only selling, one item or whatever, it's perfect for that, guys. It works so well. It delists all the time. It works on almost auto delist on every single platform that I'm on currently, which is Mercari, Posh, Depop, Whatnot, and eBay. It pulls them from any of those sites. If it sells on one, it'll pull it from all the others. It works really well when it comes to that. And if you have any issues with it, the support team has been awesome. They fixed a couple issues that I've had, and within a day at least, and haven't had any more issues with it. So I recommend it for that, and it's still a great tool, but there may be better options when it comes to if you're selling multi-quantity. So just keep that in mind. I haven't found them, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to be looking into it much because most of the items I sell, I can keep track of, and if it becomes an issue, it's an issue. But I just want to be open and honest with you guys on that. I don't know. It may be worth checking out another platform first. This is that Columbia, the one I said I was going to show you and I didn't. The Columbia bucket hat, the last one that we have going out. Again, we paid like $3 for these, $253 for them, and we're selling them for $28. So we ended up, I think, with 10 or 12 of those when we bought them. So they've moved rather quickly, and can't complain with that kind of margins. Next up, we actually have a bin store purchase. We went to the bins. I forgot to talk about that. All right, let's talk about that. We went to the bin store on Wednesday. When I went sourcing, I had about an hour before I could meet up with my contact to pick up some hats. And I decided to hit the bin store on dollar day and didn't disappoint. Found quite a few items. I don't even have any of them listed yet. I just bought them just for inventory, so if I run out, I can list. But in the bins, we did pick up these Kids Easton pants, baseball pants here. These are like a youth medium, 25 inch or something like that. They're super small, but we picked these up and we paid $1 for them. We only sold them for $14, but we did get, obviously a small profit on it. It only cost us $4 to ship them. So hey, $5 in our cost, after fees, we'll probably make $6, $6, something like that. And they sold super fast. I listed these on Thursday and they sold on Saturday, I believe. I actually picked up a couple more pair of adult ones that were in the bins as well. Couldn't believe they were still there for $1. I mean, come on, can't beat that. And yeah, we picked those up, and they haven't sold yet. These sold first, so kind of surprised me. But we picked up quite a few things in the bins. Again, this is an Amazon bin store. I don't have a Goodwill bins. This is an Amazon bin store that we've just picked up some stuff. Found some random stuff. We posted those over on Bread and Butter to kind of give them an idea. Maybe I should do that. I should start posting some of the stuff I'm buying on the Instagram. That'd be kind of cool. Just random. Sorry. Squirrel moment there. Just an idea we might start doing. But yeah, so we picked up a few items over there at the Amazon bin store. And I actually found a $50 item, a couple $30 items, some $20 items, and then some like $15 items that I feel like would sell for pretty fast. So I am not complaining at all. I will take that. Especially when you go for $1. You never know what you're going to find in those stores. Next up, we've got this White Sox hat, a red White Sox hat. I always call it a White Sox hat. I don't know why. Or a Red Sox hat. 7.5. We picked these up in a wholesale deal from another user over in Bread and Butter. Shout out to the Sell channel. You can get some great deals over there. Picked these up from him. Thank you, Wonton, for those. And we're selling them for $50. I'm actually almost out of these in the sizes. There's only certain sizes on Amazon, and I am out of, I think I've got a couple more of these halves, and that's about it. So, wish I had more. For some reason, there's only 3 sizes, even though there's, multiple sizes available from New Era. They only had 3. So, we'll take what we can get, though. The rest will eventually move on eBay or the hat store. The name of the hat store, guys, is Delco's Dead Stock. I don't know if I've announced that yet. Kind of a odd name, maybe. I don't know. We're going to try it out. But basically, it's because we are going to be carrying just dead stock hats. That's all we have. Most of them are discontinued. They're not going to be, current types. And that's what I'm going for. I'm looking for that market that is interested in buying hats they can't find anymore, old styles, stuff like that. Maybe not the newest releases. There's 2 reasons for that. Obviously, number one, it's what I carry. I don't get access to new stuff very often as far as, the newest, latest styles and so on. But the other reason for that is because I don't have to worry about, well, hopefully don't have to worry about running into issues selling from New Era because they are not a current listed item. We'll see how that goes. I've heard some horror stories about it in the past, but they were people that weren't supposed to be selling them that are selling them now, like stores and stuff like that. Actually, if you have like a wholesale account with New Era or Fanatics or any of those places, you're not allowed to sell the items on third-party marketplaces. So anything you buy from them, you can't sell on there. I'm not buying from them, so hopefully we won't run into any issues. But that is kind of the idea. And right now we're just going to focus on hats. I planned on doing some other stuff with it, and it's just too much. It's just way too much. Hats alone right now, I've got so many of them that yeah, it's gonna be a little while till we add anything more, but we might add shoes and stuff like that at a later date. We'll see. But for now, that's what we're gonna focus on. I didn't show you guys these ones either. These are those Adidas shorts that we bought in the the Kohl's clearance haul event the video that we have. It's in the description, I believe, or if it's not, it's on my channel. We actually picked these up a while ago. They are selling now $7 into $25. It's a good deal now, but I have had to hold them for a while. And I think it was just because of tankers that had tanked them down to like 15, 20 bucks. I left mine at $25, and they've been selling really well. You guys have seen me sell several of them on the channel. And I'm down to, I think, maybe 6 or 8 pair left. So ended up being a good buy. It ended up being a good buy, but We did have to hold them for a little while. So not sure how we're going to do that. We might wait till they drop more. Maybe wait till they get down to like $3-4 on the clearance sales instead of buying them at the first markdown. But it's definitely something I'm going to keep an eye out for because they've been consistent. And honestly, guys, I've only had one return with the Adidas, with the women's shorts on Amazon. So that's been really nice. Chuck says, cool name, good opportunity for sick logo as well. Maybe your own hats. So I have a logo right now. It's okay. I'm not a super big fan of it. Actually, I can show you guys. Let me grab one of these. Shout out to my wife. She actually works at a place where she can print this stuff and do some of the designs and stuff like that. Actually, almost all my designing stuff has been my wife, so thank you to her. I have no design technique, and I would love some ideas. If you guys have any ideas for logos and stuff like that, if you feel like sharing them, if you're into graphic design, if you come up with a logo that I like, I'd be willing to buy it from you. Honestly, I don't have a clue what I want. This was the only idea that I had at the time, and it's a little bit generic, I feel like, but it is what it is. I wish I had the picture I could show you on the screen, but we'll do it this way. This is what we've got here. The website's not going to be active yet, guys, so you can try to go to it, but it's not going to work. But this is the logo that we got. Again, it's just kind of generic, but I like it. I think it's cool, and hopefully it goes well. We'll see. But I'm open to other ideas. Like I said, guys, this is our test phase. We're gonna be trying all kinds of stuff until we kind of feel like we get what we're looking for. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But that is what we've got going on, and we're getting ready. Like I said, hopefully within the next week we'll be live and share with you guys and see what you guys think of the site. Next up, we've got this Blue Jays hat that we picked up from a bread and butter call out. Paid $16 for these. I think I called these out actually, and after I called them out, I kind of wished I wouldn't have because they seemed a little bit high at 16. But we actually sold it for $40, so it's not the craziest margins, but they are selling really fast. Again, that all black hat, guys, that is a fire logo. We've already sold, what, 4 of them today? Definitely keep an eye out for those. Again, not the greatest margins, but they're moving fast, so we can't complain. 17 into 40. I would do it again just because, like I said, we're pretty much sold out. I think we have one or two left, if that. All right, are we down to our last 2 items? No, we got a few more. All right. Next up, we've got the Adidas running shorts. These were a call out. I called out in bread and butter as well. We picked these up for $10, and we're selling them for $30 or $35. Let me find the label real fast. I believe $35. So we're getting $35 out of those right now over on Amazon. Again, guys, I don't necessarily recommend selling clothes over there, but it's better than shoes because the return shipping is cheaper. But honestly, when you're selling like Nike and Adidas and stuff like that, I don't get near the returns as I do as selling some other brands. And honestly, again, most people that buy this stuff buy them all the time. They know their sizes, so it's very rare that you get a return. Not going to say it doesn't happen, but it is very rare. CJ's Treasures, what's up? Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. We are just wrapping up here, I think. We've talked about a lot of good stuff, though. If you are just joining us, I don't tell you guys this all the time, but definitely want to go rewatch if you haven't seen the rest of it. We've covered a bunch of good stuff today, so definitely recommend that. And that's not just me. We've had some great comments and stuff like that in the chat as well. Next up, we have This Is Us DVD. We picked this up from a bin store a long time ago. At the time, they were selling for $30. They've dropped down to like $25, but still, only I think we paid $5 for these. I could have waited and gotten these a lot cheaper, but I didn't. I just bought them at the time because, again, thinking 6 into 30 was a good deal. They've slowed down in sales, but it's still doing pretty well over on Amazon, and we're getting, like I said, $25 out of a DVD. Not too bad. Let's see. I think that is it for the Amazon orders. We've got 3 more orders, so let me know, guys, if you have questions or anything like that. If there's anything we got going on. Like I said, the website's kind of taken over my business right now as far as what I'm investing in. I've got listings up. Obviously, they're going up, and I'm still keeping track of all that. But, yeah, we've been spending a lot of time on this website, so hopefully it comes out. It's crazy. When you start doing this, you realize how nice it is to have eBay and some of these other platforms that make it so easy for you to list. because when you're doing it through Shopify, I mean, Shopify is a great platform and is built for selling. But even with just doing that, going in, adding your item specifics, making sure it goes in the right category, making sure that you've got it tagged to where if somebody clicks on a particular link on your website that it goes to the right products. There's a whole plethora of just different things you have to do to make a website work. It's way beyond what I thought it was going to be. I've designed these before, but I've never been the one to go in and add all the products to it, and that is taking so much time. So definitely a huge thing that a lot of people misunderstand, and like with eBay and Amazon and all these places, the amount of work that they're obviously, they've been doing this for a while, so they know how to do it. But the amount of work and time they save you versus trying to do your own website like I'm doing, I couldn't imagine trying to do this with all my listings. Like, I'm just doing hats, one category, and it's taking me weeks to get these products into here. I cannot imagine trying to do a website with, thousands of items, hats, shirts, all this stuff. It's going to take a lot of time, and that's why I've completely stuck with just the hats right now. But it really makes you have an appreciation for eBay with how easy it is to list over there and different markets. This is a crazy bin store find. We picked this up a long time ago, and I've had it priced too high, and I just recently went through and comped it and dropped the price. We sold this one for $127. This is a knock sensor, I believe, or not an air to fuel ratio sensor. There we go. For a car, like I said, sold it for $127. We paid $7 for it at a bin store. There's a lot of money in car parts if you can find the right stuff. Not everything sells, but this one here was for a Honda, I believe, or for Hondas. I don't know exactly which models, but definitely a good pickup. If you find those, take a look. Not all of them are good, and it's NKG, which is a great brand. I've actually had to buy them for my car before, my Mustang and stuff, when I was living elsewhere. So definitely keep an eye out in your bin stores for those if you see those. Let's see. Greeny says, just want to say thank you again for consistently streaming and taking the time to pass on knowledge. I've learned something with every live stream. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me and doing this. I know consistency is key, and I'll be honest with you guys, there's a lot of times I don't feel like doing these. Monday mornings are rough, but I always feel good after doing them. Not for myself, just for the fact of engaging and being with some other people. It gets me motivated for the week. Self-motivation, I guess you could say. So it helps me just as much as I feel like it helps you guys. But thank you guys, because it would not, honestly guys, if there was, I say guys a lot, if there weren't that many of you watching, I see the view count while I'm looking through. We've got 7 viewers right now. When that view count goes down, it gets a little harder. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me and sticking it out. Shout out to you guys really for that. I'm happy to share my knowledge, and I learn just as much by doing these as well as you guys do. So thank you all for doing that. We've got a jersey, guys. We haven't sold a jersey in a long time. This is a Spurs Duncan 21 jersey. I know nothing about jerseys, okay? I know, especially basketball. Basketball, I know nothing about. I barely know who's won, the most recent finals or whatever they call them. But we found these in Burlington a long time ago. I want to say this was several, if not 2 years ago. It's been at least a year and a half. We picked it up for $25, and these were when they were getting these Mitchell & Ness jerseys in. I liked the all-black style of it. I felt like that was going to do well, again, with the hats and stuff, how they do. These had 155 original MSRP on it. Had it listed for 120 for a long time and never really got any interest for it. Had best offer on it. Just, again, people weren't interested in it, it seemed like, so I figured it was an older, maybe a non-current player. I'm sure it's a non-current player or something like that. But with that, I went through recently and sent out some offers, which I never do, but I had some items that had just been sitting for a while, so I decided to send some offers on it. And this was one of those, and we actually had somebody offer $100 for it. So I took it. It may have been a little less than what I should have sold it for, but it's been sitting for a while. And again, I just don't know players and jerseys, especially basketball, so I made money on it. Obviously, 25 into 100 is a good sale, and it's a cool jersey. So happy to see it go, and hopefully some of the others that I have will sell too. We picked up quite a few hardcore Mitchell & Ness from Burlington during that time period. It was like a month or so where they were getting them in, and hopefully some of the others sell. But I just don't know jerseys. I wish I did because I have some suppliers that I could get some really good stuff off of. I just don't know them. So hopefully I'll be able to learn eventually what's going on there. That one, like I said, 27 after tax into 100. Next, or second to last, I told you guys I was almost done, and then here I am continuing. Next to last is another kind of soccer jersey. This is just an Adidas generic one. It's got like flowers, multicolored flowers all over it. We picked this one up from, was it Burlington or Ross? One of the two. Burlington or Ross. We paid $7 for it and just ended up selling it for 25 bucks. These were on Amazon and they were selling really well. I think I priced them too high and then the listing got taken down. So we moved it over to eBay and they just don't sell very well on eBay. So got 25 for it. We'll take it. Not losing money for sure. Made a little bit of profit off of it and we'll go from there. All right, last item. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to show you guys what this is. I don't really want to take it completely out because it took me a minute to get it in here. It is a poster. This is a Carrie Underwood poster. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever seen me sell any of my Taylor Swift stuff on here. We're going to save that for a later video. I sell a bunch. Well, I don't sell a ton of it right now, but I have a bunch of Taylor Swift merchandise from a long time ago that sells. I've got crazy prices on them. This was an attempt at that. When I was selling those, I come across a deal for some tour merch from Carrie Underwood, one of her tours several years ago. And I bought it all out. I think I paid like $1, $2 for the posters and stuff like that. We sold this one for $40 actually for the poster, which is pretty cool. But I can't remember what else we got. We got some programs and some stuff like that. But yeah, just something different. You can make some money on this stuff, but not all of it is good. I kind of got lucky. Taylor Swift was not near as big of a star when I purchased her stuff. So I got really lucky with that, honestly. And like I said, we'll talk about that when I sell one because I'll be able to show you guys what it actually is. But this one here, like I said, I've not sold any of the Carrie Underwood stuff for a minute. She's kind of lost some fame on there. Still, honestly, still one of my favorite female artists. But we'll take the $40 for the poster for sure. Can't complain with that. Also, guys, if you ever ship anything with posters, if you can get them under 20 inches, your rate goes down in half. So it was like $4 or $5 to ship this 20 inches. If it goes up past 20 inches, 21 to anything further, it jumps up to like $8 or $9 in shipping. I don't ship the media mail, guys. I hate shipping media mail. It just takes too long to get there. It's not worth the savings, in my opinion. Obviously, certain people sell just particular items for that that do fine, but I just don't, so I still ship them first class or USPS Ground Advantage, as it's called. All right. I think that's it, guys. I think we have everything done. Videos are a little bit shorter, as you guys have been seeing. It's an hour and 30 at the moment. So a little bit shorter. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If you guys want to let me know, if you prefer the longer ones, then that's fine. I'll try to come up with some more topics, but this has just kind of simplified it, made it to where I don't feel like I'm just stalling, which is what was kind of happening with some of the other ones. I try to come up with topics all throughout the week to talk about, and hopefully they're interesting. But if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. I would love to talk about stuff that you want to, and it would just give me something else besides trying to come up with 10 to 15 ideas for the week. But like I said, I love doing these with you guys, so I don't want to go anywhere with that. But if you do prefer the shorter versus the longer, let me know. Give me some feedback. Whatever the feedback is, good or bad, I can take it. I appreciate it, and it's going to help us make this channel a little bit more entertaining and a little bit more informative later on. Let me know if you guys liked the on-screen stuff. We might be able to do that. That's actually really easy to do, and I can still do it from here. So if you want to see some more stuff like that, I've got some other ideas I could do with some screen sharing. So if you liked that, let me know. Hit that thumbs up button. I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate that. It's been something that's been, I think, helping the videos a lot. We've been getting 7 to 10 likes on each video, so appreciate that as well. I think that's about it, guys. I'm not going to sit here and ramble. If you haven't already, check out the Facebook page and the Instagram. They're in the links in the description box below. We would greatly appreciate that if you could give us a like. I don't spam you guys. I maybe post once a week, maybe twice if I post about the upcoming video or something like that. I would like to do a little bit more, but I'm not going to spam you guys on over there. I appreciate that. Hour and 30 works for me, Miller said. Awesome. I think it's a good middle ground, honestly. I don't feel like it's too long, but I don't feel like, I'm cutting you guys off. So I like it, but I'm always open to change if you guys have a different idea. But definitely check those links out. All the other videos, definitely keep an eye out. We'll make sure everybody knows about the giveaway when it happens, and what we're going to be doing with that. I've got some ideas, but like I said, I'd love to hear some more from you guys. Otherwise, I don't know if there's anything else. I've mentioned bread and butter, guys. If you are interested in that and you're not already a part, shoot me a message. I'd love to explain what that is and see if it's something that can be useful to you. And then obviously, like I said, there's other links. All the links, guys, in the description do help me out. I do get a small kickback from all of those. So if you do visit any of those or decide to purchase, you're welcome to. If you see anything in the videos that you want to know where I got it from, I can let you know as well. I think that's it, guys. Again, thank you so much. One last comment. Peter Miller said, also screen sharing is good. Awesome. I like it. It worked a lot easier than I thought it was going to be today. So we'll probably do some more of that in the future as well. That's it, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.